Sheila, just before we're going to do this interview, a customer came up and said, I fondly remember you. Does that gladden you?
Of course it does. Yes, of course it does. Yes, it's great. Yeah.
I've only got to chapter 5 or 6 of your book.
Oh, you've actually got a copy?
We're up to about...
Good for you.
We're up to Baker Street and auditioning for RADA.
Oh, right, so you've done My Miserable Child.
Do you think it was a miserable childhood?
Well, it shaped me, so you take your pick, really. Yeah, of course. Well, it wasn't the happiest of childhoods, but it's very character-forming, isn't it?
And it's very reflectful on the apartheid era.
Yes, that's the interesting bit about my childhood. The fact that I actually grew up with apartheid as part of life, really. And it was only slowly as I grew up that I started to take in what was actually happening and began to resent it, and eventually left. I eventually ran away. I didn't stay and fight it, which a lot of people did. But no, I just kind of didn't like it, so I came here.
What motivated you to write the book?
Quite a few things. First of all, it was cathartic. It was a good thing to do. Secondly, I've got a lot of anecdotes which you'll come to towards the third part of that, and telling them. People used to say to me, when's the book coming out? Where's the book? And eventually I thought, it's time to write the book. Apart from anything else, I do write. I've always written. I've had things published. This is my first book. But I do love words, I do love writing, so you haven't told me how well written it is yet, but I'm sure you will in a minute.
Dipping into different periods and different things you've been in, for people of a certain age, it's just a rich treasure trove. The Prisoner, any recollection of The Prisoner and Patrick McGowan?
Yeah, he was rather aloof. I knew he was going to be aloof, so all I did was ignore him. I did two episodes. The first one, he was very aloof, and you couldn't I bounced up and said hello, and he wasn't very kind. And the second time I thought, well, sod you. So I took a book, and I ignored him, simply read the book, and it was quite intriguing. He changed quite a lot. He was nice to me.
And secondly, what's it like to act in a sketch written by Spike Milligan?
Impossible. The man was mad, wonderfully mad, but he lives on his own planet. And it was so full of ideas, that they just bubbled out of him. You couldn't catch them, So the fact that he wrote a few of them down, we're kind of lucky to have them.
Do you think your brand of sort of comedy acting, but also serious acting, do you think that's a lost art? No, I think it's a loss that we've got so much reality television, and I think it's a loss that looks and so on play such a big part, because people get parts in films and so on, not because they're talented or can act, but because they look right. There's nothing wrong with that, except that it does kind of eliminate a lot of people who don't look the way people expect. Kind of statutory good looks or whatever. I remember looking at Kojak and thinking to myself, a bald woman who sucked lollipops would never get a job in television. Men can be as ugly as anything, but women have to be standard, pretty, good looking, and then off they go. It might sound like I'm complaining, but I am. And a lot of young people in this particular borough that we're in are interested in acting and theatre. What's your advice to them?
Do it. And if people put you off and you dig your heels in, do it. If people can put you off, don't do it, because it's such a tough life. You've really got to be totally dedicated. And if you're dedicated and you believe in yourself, in spite of what people say, like you don't look right or you're not talented enough, if you believe in yourself, go ahead and do it.
And in 2010 and beyond, are you involved in projects? What's any plans?
Well, I've just done another Doctors, which will come out any minute now, I think. I don't know. They never let you know, They just use you and throw you away. And I've got another book I'm writing. And the phone is always hopefully going to ring. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.